Hey, so how's everybody doing today? It's Kevin with Nighthawk Motors, and today we're going to do a slight vlog type video. I have to go over and get the oil changed in the car, and also I have like a video planned for later on. I wanted to do the 20,000 mile review. So as you can see there, I have a oil change needed. It's actually 21,200 miles in the car. So let's go over and get the oil changed. After that, we'll take care of that video and let you guys know what I think of the car after 20,000 miles of ownership. Alright, so everybody, we're back at my place now, and we're going to go over the 20,000 mile review. But as you guys know from earlier, it's actually 21,255 mile review. But that's besides the point. 20,000 mile review. So far, this car's been really good. I've had no problems with it other than the little wheel and tire noise that I was having like an issue with. And I'm glad like I figured out it was only the wheel and tire, like they were saying, instead of being something like a powertrain issue or a wheel bearing issue or something just strange that, you know, didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make a whole lot of sense how that could happen, but I guess it does if there's you know, just the perfect set of circumstances where a wheel might be a little larger than the average size for the bead. I guess it could make a rubbing noise like that. But ever since I pumped it up above like 38 psi, it's been fine. Yeah, I really don't have a complaint with it anymore. So let's go over the actual feel of the car. After 20,000 miles, some cars tend to get a little loose. You know, they start loosening up a little bit and whatnot. In this car, I really don't feel like it's gotten any looser. I don't feel like anything's wearing down prematurely. It feels very tight, and the transmission still feels really good, considering, you know, how it felt when I first got it. The engine feels good. It sounds just like it did when I got it. And that was the third oil change I did to this car. So I believe it's like, what was that, like maybe like 7,000 mile oil change intervals or something along those lines. Yeah, like 6,500, 7,000. It seems what it is about. And I do use synthetic oil, so that stuff's really tough. One of these days I'll do a little comparison between conventional and synthetic, but that's besides the point. Let's get that back on track. Brakes feel great. The suspension, there's no noises coming out of suspension at all. And this is great because by this point, my old Mustang, I was getting some creaking noise and whatnot out of that car. And by 30,000 miles, I had to replace all the shocks and the whole rear sway bar assembly because the end links were just loose and they were banging around. And that's kind of like a design flaw with that car since it's got a solid rear axle. The rear sway bar wasn't set up properly to accommodate for a panhard bar making the rear axle go side to side. But unless you're like mechanically inclined or know what I'm talking about, then it'll go over your head. Basically, seems like Honda really built this car to last, and you know, I'm benefiting from that now because I have 20,000 miles on the car and I haven't had to do anything to it other than its normal you know, oil changes, car wash, and things of that nature. And for the next video, I'm going to do a 20,000 mile review, like a cost of ownership review. But right now, I'm just going to go over the actual car itself. So let's see what else I have written down on my list here. All right, so the interior still looks very new. The leather seats seem like they're holding up very well with minimal creasing. There's no scuff marks on the seats because it seems like this leather's a harder leather, which is actually a good thing. If you have a soft leather and you tend to kind of drag in against the side bolsters here, but two of my last cars I've had, by 20,000 miles, this side bolster was really taking a licking, you know, kind of thing. It was just really worn down and looked bad. So I'll show you guys a picture of this right over here. Or you know what? No, we'll pan over it with another shot here. So you can see the seats, they're really clean, and you know, they're really clean meaning there's not scuff marks and wear on them. I think these things will last a long time, especially if you take care of them. As far as the plastics go, as long as you're not wiping the interior down with anything rough like a broom, if you just are mindful of how much pressure you apply to the plastic trim everywhere, you're not going to see an issue with wear on this. Maybe 10-20 years down the line you might get some cracks, because that's just the way plastic is, especially when it gets real hot and cold so many times through so many cycles. It tends to crack unless you have like a really high quality plastic. The exterior of the car seems to be holding up just fine. I have no issues with the paint work. There's no rust. Better not be any rust after 2,000 miles, other than that one little spot up in the driver's side, which I did I actually forgot about that. I wanted to tell a dealership about that when I went in today, but I forgot about it, and it's not like top of my priority list, but I probably should get them to take care of it for me, just so I don't have to worry about that down the line if I do decide to keep this car. Or even for the next buyer. I don't want to leave the next buyer with some random piece of rust that might cost them like $1,000 down the road. Yeah, as far as the comfort and how do I feel about the car after 20,000 miles compared to my initial thoughts, you know, it's kind of grown on me a little bit. I feel like it's a really good car. You can just get in it, drive around, and not worry about anything breaking. It gets fairly good fuel economy. Let's see what the fuel economy here is. All right, so I'm not like a light driver by any means. So right now, I'm getting around 25 miles to the gallon, as you can see there. I've been doing a lot more driving around town, so that's why with the past 1,000 miles, it's been a little lower. And it's a lot of stop and go traffic around here, so you're not gonna get good gas mileage in anything with stop and go traffic. I'm surprised it's actually above 20 for the average because of how much stop and go traffic I do, how many lights I have to go through. So that's pretty good. I'm not too concerned about the gas mileage. It's a lot better than any other car I've ever had. So I'm actually very thankful for that, and it keeps the actual cost of fuel so low because it's regular fuel, not premium, and it's economical. It's nice. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that little update video on the Honda Accord. There's going to be more videos to come out about this car and that BMW I've been posting about. We're going to keep moving on both, and hopefully have some nice content for you guys in the future. And I'm going to try and make the cost of ownership video for this car because I think that's a good video to make. Somebody suggested that to me a couple months ago. I've just been too busy to actually, you know, get around to it. So I'm going to try to set aside some time today to shoot that video as well. So if you guys would, please like, comment if you have any comments at all, any new video topics you'd like to see, and subscribe to the channel so you can see updates on this and the other BMW that I'm working on. All right, so everybody have a great day, and